What's up, everyone? My name is Closing Dime. In this video, I'm going to recap my sports betting month of February. This was by far the best month I've ever had. I made $7,293 in just 1 month betting. I had two of my best days ever, and a stretch of 4 days out was my worst stretch ever. I lost a lot of money in 4 days. But anyway, in this video, it's going to be a little more laid back. I'm going to talk about my betting strategies that worked, some that didn't, how I did in every single book, etc. But since we have another profitable month, I'm going to crack open a beer. Today I got Sam Adams Cold Snap. I'm from Massachusetts, so I got to support Sam Adams. This is my favorite seasonal beer. So let's get into it. Like I said, this was my best month ever. I profited $7,293. I placed over 2,000 bets with a 5.44% ROI. My goal going into the month of February was to place like $3,500 worth of bets every single day. And I actually ended up wagering $4,622 on average every day. I think that comes out to $133,000 wagered in one day. I started my sports betting journey a year ago with a $2,000 bankroll. So if I told myself a year ago I was betting $133,000 in 1 month, I would have said you're crazy, but it's possible. It's not that hard to do it. If you just watch some of my YouTube videos and join my Discord, I can teach you how. But let's get into this day by day chart here. This was the first month that I profited over $1,000 in a single day, and I actually did it 3 times. I had a 1.2K day and 2 days I made over 1.4. So that was incredible. I went on a crazy hot run to start. I was profitable 11 out of my first 12 days. And then I went on a very bad losing streak. I lost $811 one day, which is the most I ever lost in a single day. Then I lost $780, which was the second most I ever lost in a single day. And then I lost $730, which was the third most I ever lost in a single day. And then on top of that, another day down $235. I fortunately quickly recovered from that and ended up having my best month ever. This is the hardest part about being a profitable sports bettor. Not every day is profitable, but you have to trust what you're doing. I have the track record to be confident in it. If I started sports betting and I had those 4 days off the bat, I probably would have just quit right there. But I know what I'm doing works, so I stuck with it and it paid off. All right, let's check how I did on each book. Now, one of my big goals this month was to be profitable on FanDuel. I did that, so I made a little over 1,000 there. I made a lot of money on DraftKings, over 2,000. Made money on Caesars. I did well in every single book. Fanatics, I was down a little bit. I only didn't even place 100 bets through them, so that's just a volume issue. I could pick that up. WinBet, I made $497, and that was just in the first 10 days of this month. They actually forfeited their license in Massachusetts, so they're no longer a book that I can bet, which is unfortunate. I can almost guarantee you I'd make at least $1,000 on them per month. They were a pretty easy book to make money on, so that's going to cut into my profits. I'll have to find new ways to replace that income from them. Then we can look over at my bet type per market. So NBA absolutely crushed it. That's where most of my profits came from, over $3,300 in profits. College basketball, almost $1,200. NHL, $700. NFL, $811. I had a few futures on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, like 12-1. So that was nice. I hit a lot of player props during the Super Bowl. So I think that was one of the days I actually made $1,400. So that was a great day. Tennis has been insane. I don't place that many bets, but everything I do hits. 15-7 record there with almost $800 return. And then there's a bunch of random soccer leagues that I've done really well on this month. I don't know why Pickett doesn't just clump them all together. It breaks them down per league. I'd rather just see one slot where it says this is your record and profit on all soccer bets. But unfortunately, Pickett doesn't do that. While I'm talking about Pickett, if you don't already have Pickett, it's a great app. It tracks all of your sports bets. You can filter different bets to see which markets you're doing good in, which you're doing bad in. You can follow me at Closing Dime. I'll put the link down below. But but you can see every single play I post. I try to post quite often, so you can tail some of my bets if you'd like. All right, I'd like to break down FanDuel and DraftKings because I changed my strategy a lot with these two books. FanDuel, DraftKings, and Caesars, I still have the most limits on. So I'm trying to focus my attention towards that. MGM, ESPN, Bet, Fanatics. I really can't get that much money off. So I'm not as focused on strategies towards those books. They're also a lot sharper, softer books compared to the big three: FanDuel, DraftKings, and Caesars. So I don't need to focus that much attention on them. If I find an EV play, it usually is EV play, and it's usually profitable. But let's talk about FanDuel here. I started off great in FanDuel. I was up to almost $3,000 in profit, and I slowly started to go back down. I ended on a little bit of a down streak there, so this number could have been a little higher. But essentially, I think I did find a system that works. I started betting college basketball, and I was referencing Bookmaker, Pinnacle, and Circle lines. As long as two of those books agreed, and FanDuel was the book that was off, I was betting those lines, and that actually yielded a really good profit for me. The other thing, I stopped betting NBA player props on FanDuel. They are insanely sharp. I don't know anyone that's making money betting FanDuel player props for the NBA. So instead, what I did was I actually downloaded the app Outlier, and this allows you to select a sharp book to devig lines from. So I actually use FanDuel as my sharp book to bet NBA player props now. And if you look over to my DraftKings, I made $2,379 this month with almost a 12% ROI. And that was almost 100% NBA player props. And I was just using FanDuel as my sharp with the Outlier app. So and I only started doing this the last week of this month. So I'm very excited to see where the FanDuel Sharp NBA player props takes me next month. I think I'm going to have a massive return from NBA player props. With Caesars, I implemented basically the combination of the two strategies between DraftKings and FanDuel. I was using the big three bookmakers to determine the true value of a line for college basketball. And if Caesars was showing me value compared to that line, then I was taking on Caesars. I did really well on that. And I also was using FanDuel Sharp for player props, and that did very well for me too. So about $900 return on Caesars and almost a 3% ROI. I'd like to get that up, but I mostly play bets that I think are over 2% ROI. So this number is really not that bad. I can live with it. I'd like to get a little more volume out on Caesars. I also received my first limits on Caesars. NBA player props, I can now only bet $135. And also college basketball first half spreads and totals, I can only bet, if I believe it's $85. So those are the two markets I've already got limited on with Caesars, but I'm still able to get down a lot of money on the rest of their markets. All right, to wrap this video up, I just want to discuss a few of my goals for next month and for the year. So next month, I want to shoot for about $4,000 bet per day. I bet about 4,600 last month a day, and that did really well. So at least $4,000 a day would be great for me. Right now, we have tons of college basketball, hockey, and regular NBA. So I know it shouldn't be that hard to do. I need to get off as much money as I can now, because in the summer months when it's basically just baseball going on, it's going to be tough to even get a couple $1,000s out on a day. I'd like to also keep my ROI over 4%. It's a tough goal to hit, but I've hit it, I think, every single month. Even though I'm only playing plays above 3%, I typically end up with an over 4% ROI because the way I calculate the true value, I'm a little conservative with. So I often get better value than I think. My yearly goals, I'd like to continue to grow this YouTube channel and to grow my Discord and Picket page. I'll put all those links below. But like I said, I'm basically trying to share content with you guys so that you can be sharp sports bettors and make money. Unfortunately, with profitable sports betting, you do face limits. And I'm afraid that, in a few years, I won't be able to get out enough money to make it worth my while sports betting. So if I have a community around me that I can just continue to help grow, I just want to be involved with the sports betting community for as long as possible. I think my best way to do that would just be growing my Discord, my Picket, and my YouTube channel. So if you join any of those platforms, I'd really appreciate it. You leave a like, give me a follow anywhere. It'd be awesome. I'm also going to leave my link to OddsJam down below. If you use that link and use code CLOSINGDIME at checkout, you'll get 35% off your first month. I used to find probably 95% of my plays on OddsJam, but now I have downloaded Outlier and Optimal. So I'm probably guessing it's more like a 75% OddsJam, 25% the other apps. But to this point, OddsJam has basically done all the work for me. Said I started with a $2,000 bankroll. I made about $40,000 this year. So I owe OddsJam all the credit for all the work I've done. If you're interested in profitable sports betting, join my Discord. We can have a one-on-one conversation about the best strategy for you to enter this field and make some money. It really can be life-changing. Having an extra $40,000 this year just took the stress of any bills off my shoulders. If you like this video and you like sports betting content, give me a follow. Any follow, like, or comment really goes a long way. It keeps me motivated to continue posting this kind of stuff. So I'm going to wrap it up with that. Let's make some money next month, and cheers to some more profits.